That's the hard, honest truth. So by the beginning of the third year, I had internalized and accepted something very, very clearly. Because what is being taught in campus is very different from what the industry is demanding. This is gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy, and this hustle will take time. If you're currently in your fourth year, you are already a little late. Learn to get lucky. How do you get lucky? If you're new here, my name is Savinder Puri. I've been in the build, release, DevOps, software engineering area for over 2 decades. During this time, I've had the opportunity to work in India, US, UK, Europe, South Africa. I've kind of been around the room. You can check out my LinkedIn profile to know more about my credentials. The like target is 200 likes. The comment target is 100 comments. So strap on your seatbelts. Let's get started. Hello girls and boys, how's it going? So I have a question for you today. Are you feeling the heat and the pressure of campus placement in 2025? Are you worried about some of the following things? What is AI gonna do to our jobs? The world geopolitical situation, and the impending crisis, not many coming for your campus placement, even a feeling of FOMO, the fear of missing out when some of your friends or colleagues get a placement and you are still stuck somewhere. Are you going through all of that? If yes, then relax, take a deep breath. I have got your back. In this video, we will go through all of these things and I will give you a roadmap both for on-campus placement as well as off-campus placement. At the end of this video, I also have a true story about a guy who has cracked a remote job from a tier 2 college in India with less than 1 year experience from a company in the UK. So stay tuned till the end. You will get a lot of value in this video. So let me start with my story today. Back in the year 2000, in my college days, I was exactly in the same boat as you are today. Yes, you would probably know, the year 2000 was not a great year to pass out of engineering. The world was sitting on an impending crisis. A recession was just about to hit very, very hard, just like it is today. Not a lot of companies were coming for campus placement, just like today. And my CGPA was not very awesome either, so I didn't anyways qualify for a lot of those campus placements. So by the beginning of the third year, I had internalized and accepted something very, very clearly. अपना कॉलेज में कुछ नहीं होने वाला. The college campus placements are not gonna cut it for me. What option did I have? The only viable option left was get something off campus. Now my dad was in the army. I didn't even have a family business that I could go and sit and nourish. None of that. So if by the end of fourth year, I did not have a job in my hand, I would be in serious trouble. I had accepted that and then I started working towards it right in the third year. So in the third year, I started applying for all sorts of internships. Every day, I would apply for 5, 10, 15 internships here and there, left, right and center. Whatever came my way, I kept on chugging at it, kept on learning, kept on chugging at it. And then finally, I did manage to crack one internship. And for the next 4 months, I went there, I ate, slept, bathed. I was there 24/7 after college. Straight I would go to that place. And in 4 months, they had to give me a job because I made myself irreplaceable in that organization. That organization is called DMEC. It still exists in Pune near the FC college area. If you go there, Law college area, if you go there, on the corner you will find DMEC. And at that point, I was handling their entire software labs. And anything and everything to do with the lab, they would shout out to Savinder Puri because he got shit done at that lab. Now, along with this, I also managed to pick up another part-time job in the evening. I used to teach Java at a coaching institute called Cogent Software. That place doesn't exist anymore. It was very close to the Kothurud campus of currently Persistent. Those of you who know Pune. So I had 2 jobs. So my schedule was college, job 1, job 2, back to the lab at job 2, next day again college, job 1, job 2, back to the lab at job 1. I slept somewhere a little bit wherever I could. But all that hustle gave me the launch pad, and that has gotten me to where I am today. And I think I did pretty well. So I have been there, done that. Like I always say, check the fruit on the tree. Checked. Now let's come back to 2025. And let's come back and talk about what challenges you are probably facing in your campus or off-campus placements. Let's talk about that a little bit. Probably you're worried about the AI impact and how this is impacting software industry and freshers or mid-level people. Is that even a safe career to go to? Probably you're worried about the skill gap because what is being taught in campus is very different from what the industry is demanding. Probably you are also getting the FOMO when somebody else, one of your friends, gets selected. Also, there are very, very limited campus opportunities probably in your college because it's not the best college out there. I understand all of this. I've been through all of this. So the question to you is, what do you do about it? In all honesty, brutal honesty, there are only 2 ways to go about it. One way is to sit and cry about it and to say, the world is unfair, my timing is not right, I was not born to the right parents in the right country, it's a effed up world, what the heck can I do? That's one way to go about it. The second way is to do all of that, but come out of that quickly and own up and take responsibility and do the heck whatever you can given your current situation, given your current circumstances. Because there is only one person who can change this, and that is you. And unless you take ownership and responsibility, shit ain't going to improve itself. That's the hard, honest truth. That's the truth that you must accept and then move on from there. I am here to help you if you are in category 2. If you're not there yet, pause the video, come back to this video when you're ready. Because I want to talk with utmost honesty, even though you might get offended by it. But that's my job here, to show you the mirror and then help you. So let's talk about on-campus placements. Now you probably know the drill. Create your resume, create your LinkedIn profile, do your DSA thing, prepare for the interview rounds, yada yada yada. Your college placement team has already prepped you on all of this. From my standpoint, I have also created dedicated videos on this. You can watch them. I'll leave the timestamp in the comments. That's not what I'm here to talk about today. I will give you some different hacks on how to make the college placement season valuable for me. So number 1, build your communication skills. What does that mean? You have to master and be a good speaker of English. It doesn't mean Shashi Tharoor level English. That's not what I'm talking about. Even if you have an accent because of your background, that is perfectly okay. But you should be able to speak fluently, use simple words. You should not be struggling with and and you know, I know, yeah, right. None of those BS. None of those filler words. You should be able to speak as naturally as you speak almost in your mother tongue. You have to develop that habit. It doesn't come naturally to a lot of us because we are not native English speakers. How do you do that? First, you make a resolve to learn English because, like it or not, that's the language of business. You gotta learn it. Then second, you participate in a lot of your college campus events maybe debates, maybe elocution contests. That will help you practice it. Another thing you can do is join Toastmasters International. Now, Toastmasters, if you don't know, is a fantastic organization. The cost is very minimal and they help you develop your public speaking skills. It's there in most decentish cities in India. I think they have some online programs as well, but it's very well structured and it's beautifully set up. Even if you have never spoken publicly, they will take your hand. They have a structured program to take you to levels. I would highly recommend joining Toastmasters International. Second one, be a part of your campus placement committee. Why? A, you know how to talk to different people in different companies. That's a very, very valuable exposure. B, you will start making contacts and connections. That could help you. C, you will learn a lot of processes on how to plan for campus placements, how to go to organizations, how to approach them. This entire process is very valuable and you can mold it to other ways when you are giving an interview. So very, very valuable skill. If your college has a good placement cell which goes to different organizations and is able to get them, it's a great idea to do that. The next thing is to learn to network with at least 2 people from each organization that comes for campus placement. Now, how do you do that? Now, don't be stupid and go to those people and say, hello, sir, I'm Savinder Puri. I love the way you talk. Can we connect? Nobody's interested. Nobody gives a shit about that. So how do you do that? So firstly, if you're not in the placement committee, talk to them and figure out your placement calendar, which company is coming at which date. As you get closer to that date, ask them which people from those companies are coming over to the college and if possible, get their LinkedIn profiles. Should be doable. Then study their LinkedIn profile. Let's say 4 or 5 people are coming, pick up 2 people that you resonate with, that you feel inspired with. Study their LinkedIn profile and ask them some relevant questions. I'll give you examples of these. So let's say you say, hey, you do this after the placement talk is over, after you've heard them. Then when they're interacting, figure out a way to reach them and say, hey, I saw that you have worked in probably all of the dream banks. You worked with Citibank, you worked with Barclays, you worked with HSBC. I just want to know how is it to work in large banks like this. Another question can be, hello sir, you are a senior architect. I am very fascinated by the work that architects do. I don't understand a whole lot about this. Can you tell me what it takes to be an architect? And at my level, what are the 2 skills that I should focus on to become an architect in the next, 10 odd years? How can you help? You can also ask generic questions like, hey, what is your take about AI and how is it impacting entry-level engineers? Any guidance that you would like to give me? If somebody is from your hometown, you say, hey, I noticed that you did your engineering or you are from Nagpur. I also did my schooling from Nagpur. How often do you visit there? Have you been there recently? Everybody likes answering questions about themselves. Now take out your phone and then ask them right there to connect with you on LinkedIn. Right there and then. When you go to LinkedIn, there is a way to show your QR code. Give that to them. Ask them to scan it right there. After that, the following evening, send them a message saying, hello sir, we met at the campus placement. Very nice to meet you. I'll be in touch. And then watch out whenever they post anything. Comment on that, but put meaningful comment. Don't just say, lovely thought, very inspiring, add value to that. That's how you create a good quality connection. Let's say 10 companies come to visit you. 10 twos are 20. You've created solid 20 industry connections. All you need is one connection to crack your job. So let's talk about off-campus placements. Now this is the real deal. This is where probably a lot of you are today. But let me be honest with you girls and boys, this is gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy, and this hustle will take time. If you're currently in your fourth year, you are already a little late. If you are currently in the third year, you're just about there in time. If you are somebody who's experienced and are watching this, know that it'll take you a minimum of 6 months to a year to implement this right and then get the results. What I'm saying here is not just valid for college students, it's practically valid for anybody who wants to jump to their next job and doesn't know how to do that, or is not getting the calls, the interviews, or those kind of things. It's valid to everybody actually. So let's come back to the college. Now, what is the difference between on-campus placement and off-campus placement? What's the thing that makes off-campus placement hard? The simple thing is, in on-campus placement, the folks are coming. All you have to do is to justify and to crack their test and their evaluation, and you're there. Here, first you have to find people who are willing to evaluate you, which means you have to rise up the bubble enough to get noticed so that when you send in your resume, people call you. So you have to do something which is different, which stands out from all the 1,000 profiles out there. Now, how the heck do you do that? How the heck do you make yourself stand out? Let me give you a couple of tips for that. My favorite one, learn in public. What does that mean? That means as you're learning something, start writing about that in LinkedIn, start creating detailed documentation about that on Hashnode, and then repeat that on a weekly basis. I've created dedicated video on this. If you want me to create a full video on how to actually structure a post, how to write a LinkedIn post, how to capture a blog, I've not done that. If you want me to do that, comment, learn in public, and I will make a dedicated video on how to actually write stuff as well. So let me know about that. But very important one is learn in public. The idea is, if you're learning, let's say Python now, Docker after a month, Kubernetes after 2 months, and if you keep posting these content, in 6 months, you will have about 50, 100 pieces out there. And when somebody is looking for a Docker expert, somebody who's got experience with Python, Kubernetes, hopefully they will be able to hit your profile because you've posted enough content with good quality and you will get noticed. The second one is to network strategically. And let me share here the story of Imran, who's got selected for a remote job in UK. Imran has less than 1 year of corporate experience. And he was working not even in a software company. It was a non-software job. He quit that couple of months back and then started strategically networking. What does it mean? What did Imran do? First, he spent a couple of months mastering the basics and figuring out which area does he want to focus on. And he picked up cloud, DevOps, Kubernetes. That is the side of the entire gamut that he focused on. And then he really built up his skill on those areas. He created some very good quality project in this area. Took him about 6-8 months to do that. Then what he did is very interesting. He made a list of smallish to not so large companies in this niche who either have products or who do services in this niche. Once that list was ready, I think it was over 150 companies. Then he found out their website, found out their LinkedIn pages, went ahead and liked their LinkedIn pages. So started getting notifications from there, connected with at least 5 to 6 people from each organization. These are the people who would potentially hire people like him, and then started networking with them, putting valuable comments on what they post, writing articles in that area so that they would resonate with that. And then the pivotal point came last year, KubeCon Delhi. He went there, he invested the money there, and he went and met some of these companies. People that he had been talking to, people that he had been commenting on. That cemented the relationship. And then he started applying to companies, showcasing the products. He was doing that before also. After this, when people had known him, he again applied to these companies. He again showcased his projects. And then he got a call from one company in the UK. They did round 1, round 2. And then they sent him a note saying, hey, we are happy with what you're doing. We might just offer you a job if you clear the next round. However, we have never had anybody in India. Would you be open to joining us as a contractor? And that is when Imran approached me. Obviously, I know him from before. We've been talking, but he gave me a call 2 days back and say, hey, I have this opportunity. I've cleared everything. This is what they're asking me to do. What do I need to do? Blah, blah, blah. I guided him. But that is the exact algorithm that Imran followed. So tip number 3, keep your eyes and ears open for opportunities. Create opportunities for yourself. Learn the skills, learn the fundamentals, and then keep applying, keep learning, keep correcting, keep following down that path. The other thing is, create good quality projects. I've just created a video where I've suggested 5 good quality projects. Have a look at that. Have a look at other videos by other creators and make sure you create some awesome projects out there and keep them live when the interview is happening so that the interviewer can go and see the project. Last but not the least, learn to get lucky. What do you mean? How do you get lucky? Lucky is where preparedness meets opportunity. So you gotta be prepared with your projects, with your spoken English, with your profiles, with your network. That's preparedness. And when the opportunity comes, you strike. And you create the opportunity by going to events like KubeCon, like Imran went. Create those opportunities where that opportunity can meet your preparedness, and that's where magic happens. Hope this video made sense. Let me know in the comments what you think about this approach, and I will also link the videos on how to make good projects, how to create your LinkedIn profile, how to create a resume. I'll link all of that, and I'll see you in the next one.